Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to violate what I talked about last week on comparing and contrasting. But I'm not going to do it between people. I'm rather going to look at the same person with the same words and how that person acted in two different situations. Our portion begins, Vayomer Hashem el Avram, Lech Lecha, go forth. And yes, Rashi says, go forth for your benefit. But what I want to point out is that God says to Abraham, go forth, and Abraham goes forth. 12 chapters later, Genesis 22, Lech Lecha, God says to Abraham, go forth. Go forth, bring your son, your beloved one, Isaac, to Mount Moriah. Abraham again goes forth unquestioningly. Why do we laud Abraham in this example for being an Ivri, turning away from his father's way of life? Which, by the way, Terach started the journey. He didn't complete it. Abraham had to complete it on his own. But Abraham turned away from all that he had known, and we laud him for that. Whereas we castigate him 10 chapters later, when he again follows God's command, almost sacrificing his son. It's the same words, Lech Lecha. I think there's a lesson in what Lech Lecha means. We need to go forth at times in life, as challenging as that might be, away from what we know. But before we do that, we need to be thoughtful, introspective, meditative even, and consider whether this going forth is something that we are doing in proper measure, or whether it is impulsive or erratic behavior. Should we be asking questions? Should we be contemplating something greater before we go forth? Very easy to do, much harder to figure out whether we're doing an appropriate course of action. Abraham, in Genesis 12, after his father passed away, he lost what he knew, and he was able to go forth in a different direction. In Genesis 22, on the other hand, he had what was most dear to him, his son. And yet, instead of going forth and questioning God, as he did in Sodom and Amorah, he gets up early, seemingly eager to sacrifice his son. That is the mistake of the second Lech Lecha. So, when we feel compelled to go forth in life, may we analyze why it is we feel compelled to go forth, and may we go forth in situations that call for us to do so, yet show restraint in those situations that do not. Ken Yehi Ratzon, Shabbat Shalom.